The set was alive with energy, cameras clicking, lights flashing, and crew members whispering nervously. Everyone was focused, ready for the next shot, when a stuntman stepped forward with a smirk. Pointing directly at Bruce Lee, he laughed, shaking his head. "He's just a movie fighter," he said, his voice dripping with disbelief. A few crew members chuckled, nodding in agreement. To them, it seemed like harmless banter, just a little on-set humor. Bruce Lee stood silently, calm and collected, his eyes locked on the stuntman. There was no anger, no exaggerated reaction, just a quiet intensity that few could even notice at first. Yet something about his stillness made the air heavier, the atmosphere charged with tension. The stuntman leaned in, confident, expecting the joke to land and the moment to pass. Then came the pause, the seconds stretching longer than normal, each heartbeat echoing in the room. And suddenly, in less than 6 seconds, the entire energy on set shifted. Laughter vanished. Smirks disappeared. The stuntman's confident demeanor froze. Every crew member leaned in, eyes wide, realizing they were about to witness something completely unexpected. 6 seconds later, Bruce left everyone stunned. If you were on set, what would your reaction have been? Comment below. Bruce Lee remained perfectly still, a calm center in the midst of the buzzing set. His posture was relaxed, yet every muscle seemed ready, like a spring coiled and waiting. There was no need for words or showmanship. His presence alone carried authority. While the stuntman laughed and joked, Bruce's focus never wavered. He didn't flinch, didn't smirk, didn't respond to the mockery. He simply observed, analyzing the moment with precision and awareness that few could match. You could see it in the way he held himself, poised, measured, completely in control. Years of rigorous training, relentless practice, and unparalleled attention to detail had honed his reflexes to perfection. Every twitch, every shift of weight, every subtle motion was a demonstration of mastery. Even without performing, he was already teaching the crew a lesson in discipline and focus. The contrast was striking. On one side, casual arrogance and laughter. On the other, quiet skill and unwavering confidence. That tension alone made the air crackle. Viewers could sense the stakes rising, not through threats or exaggerated drama, but through sheer anticipation. If you were on set watching Bruce Lee like this, would you trust his calm or expect him to react quickly? Comment your thoughts below. The stuntman stepped forward, chest out, exuding confidence. He smirked, thinking this was an easy moment, just a playful jab at Bruce Lee, nothing more. The crew noticed immediately, some leaning in with curiosity, others exchanging amused glances. Cameras clicked, lights glared, and the chatter of the set faded slightly as the tension began to thicken. Bruce Lee didn't move a muscle. His gaze remained unwavering, locked on the stuntman with an intensity that was quiet but impossible to ignore. The contrast couldn't have been sharper. One man, brimming with bravado and mockery, and the other composed, focused, and perfectly still. That stillness spoke louder than any words could. Seconds stretched, each one heavier than the last. You could almost hear the collective heartbeat of the crew, every breath and rustle magnified by anticipation. The stuntman's confidence made him lean closer, eager to provoke a reaction. Meanwhile, Bruce's eyes tracked each subtle motion, calculating, reading, waiting. It was a battle already unfolding mentally before a single physical action occurred. The perspective shifted naturally in your mind. If you were there, where would your attention go first? Some focused on the stuntman's arrogance, others on Bruce's calm presence. Each viewer, whether in the room or imagining the scene from home, became part of the tension. You felt the uncertainty, the silent question hanging over everyone. Who would move first? Would the stuntman's confidence crumble, or would Bruce's precision leave everyone stunned? Every twitch, every pause, every barely perceptible movement heightened suspense. The audience could feel the energy in the room, shifting, like a storm gathering slowly before it breaks. The set wasn't just a filming location anymore. It had become a stage for an unseen duel, a contest of patience, anticipation, and skill. Even without action yet, the psychological tension gripped everyone. Laughter had faded. Curiosity had sharpened into anticipation. Crew members leaned in. Viewers imagined every heartbeat, and every second added weight to what was about to happen. The stage was set. Something extraordinary was about to unfold, and no one could predict it. The set had fallen almost completely silent. The usual hum of cameras, the clatter of equipment, even the quiet chatter of crew members, all seemed to vanish in the space of anticipation. The stuntman, still confident just moments ago, had leaned closer, thinking his mockery would provoke a reaction. He expected a grin, a flinch, maybe even some defensive movement, but nothing happened. Bruce Lee remained calm, his posture perfect, every inch controlled, every fiber of him waiting. Then it happened. 6 seconds. That's all it took to change everything. Time seemed to stretch in the minds of everyone present. You could almost feel the air pause as Bruce moved. Not in anger, not in haste, not to prove anything, but with the kind of precision and fluidity that could only come from years of relentless training, focus, and instinct. His body flowed in one seamless motion, effortless, calculated, flawless. The stuntman's smirk disappeared before it had even fully formed. One subtle shift, a flick of movement, a perfectly timed step, and suddenly his balance was gone. His confident stance wavered, eyes wide in disbelief. In that instant, the mocking laughter that had filled the room moments ago evaporated entirely. It was replaced by stunned silence, broken only by the collective gasps of the crew. No one had expected this. No one had imagined that 6 seconds could feel like an eternity. The crew's reactions were a mixture of awe and disbelief. Cameras captured expressions frozen mid-reaction. Some members whispered to themselves, hardly believing their own eyes. Others shook their heads, trying to reconcile what had just happened with what they thought they knew. The stuntman himself was speechless, a mix of astonishment and respect spreading across his face. He had mocked, underestimated, and now he was humbled in the span of mere seconds. Bruce Lee didn't gloat. He didn't raise his voice or perform any showy gestures. There was no chest thumping or exaggerated display of dominance. He simply stood there, calm and collected, a master demonstrating that skill, timing, and control speak louder than arrogance and brute confidence. Every subtle detail, the controlled breathing, the smooth execution, the effortless precision, reinforced the power of mastery over sheer bravado. From the audience's perspective, whether imagining themselves on set or watching the retelling unfold, the psychological impact was immediate. Shock turned to awe. The air on set seemed to shift instantly after those 6 seconds. The tension, thick just moments before, gave way to a mixture of disbelief, admiration, and silent acknowledgement. Cameras still rolled, but the usual chatter and laughter had completely faded. The stuntman, who had walked in with a smirk and an air of mockery, now stood frozen, his confidence replaced by humility. He could hardly speak, his earlier bravado replaced by the dawning realization that he had just witnessed something extraordinary. Bruce Lee didn't raise his voice, didn't flex, didn't perform any exaggerated gestures. He simply nodded, a quiet, deliberate acknowledgement of mastery. Every eye on set, from the crew to the stuntman, followed that nod and understood the unspoken lesson. Skill and focus outweigh arrogance every single time. It wasn't just a demonstration of speed or reflexes. It was a lesson in composure, patience, and precision. His calm presence amplified the impact far beyond the physical movement itself. For the crew, it was a moment of clarity. Some whispered to each other, shaking their heads in disbelief. Others sat in stunned silence, trying to process the combination of timing, control, and focus they had just seen. Even those who had doubted or mocked at first couldn't help but feel admiration. The scene on set had become more than a performance. It was a live demonstration of mastery in action. The stuntman, still reeling, looked at Bruce with a mixture of respect and awe. What had seemed like a harmless moment of jest had transformed into a humbling experience. Every movement of Bruce's body, every subtle shift, every calculated pause had conveyed more than words ever could. In that instant, it became clear true mastery doesn't need to announce itself. It asserts quietly, naturally, and unmistakably. The psychological weight of the moment extended beyond the immediate actors. For anyone watching, whether in person or imagining themselves on the set, there was a universal reaction, admiration mixed with reflection. The lesson wasn't about defeating someone with brute strength or proving superiority. It was about focus, discipline, and mental control. Bruce's demeanor reinforced the idea that calm confidence can command attention more powerfully than noise, arrogance, or performance. Even as normal activity gradually resumed on set, the effect lingered. Crew members exchanged glances, some laughing nervously as if to release tension, others still processing what they had just seen. The stuntman adjusted his posture, a hint of a smile forming, but it wasn't the same cocky grin from before. This one carried respect, acknowledgement, and perhaps a bit of awe. Bruce had taught a lesson without uttering a single word, and the impact was permanent. By the end, the set wasn't just a filming location, it was a stage for a moment of insight. Viewers were left reflecting on more than just a physical demonstration. They were contemplating the quiet power of mastery, the effect of composure, and the respect earned through skill rather than noise. Bruce Lee's calm precision had transformed a mocking moment into a universal lesson, leaving a lasting impression that went far beyond the cameras, the lights, or the laughter that had preceded it. Do you think skill and focus can always outweigh confidence and bravado in real life? Let us know what you think in the comments. From the very start, tension was repeated and layered to keep viewers on edge. Every glance, every subtle motion, every pause built anticipation, not through flashy action, but through careful observation. Bruce Lee's calm mastery was emphasized repeatedly. His stillness, his focus, his precise timing. Each description reminded viewers why he was a force to watch, reinforcing stakes without exaggeration. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.